Hey Internet, I know it has been quite a bit since my last update. This one's a bit late, but I got a little busy at the beginning of the month. But don't worry, I took my waist measurement and I weighed myself at the beginning of the month so that I would have accurate representations of the progress I made each month, and I was actually able to drop 15 pounds and another inch off my waist. But let's get into a little bit as to why you would want to run barefoot. Like, why do I do it? Well, to me, running in like fancy $100 shoes, and I actually have a pair that I barely use, a pair of Brooks. They're really nice shoes. But running in those types of shoes to me is like running with crutches. Now, let's say you hurt your ankle. That's your problem. Your left ankle is really hurting. There's your problem. Your solution was crutches. Now, if you ran, let's say 2-3 months with crutches, would you be a better runner? No. You would be better at running with crutches, but you wouldn't be a better runner. You're no good without those crutches, and you're going to run into some problems there. Your left ankle isn't going to be up to par with your right ankle because you're always using those crutches to make up for the soreness, the problem you had at one point in time. And the other problem is your armpits are probably going to hurt all the time from running with crutches. I know that's an issue. And if you bring it over into the, see, that was just an analogy. Here, let me bring it over here so you understand what I'm saying. You have these fancy shoes. Your problem is you're not a good runner because of your running form, how you run. So what was your solution? To get some really expensive shoes that they fixed like pronation or this and that, they fixed, oh, you land too hard on your heel, you're a heel striker, so they added extra padding there for you. But the problem is, you don't become a better runner, you become better you become a better runner with those crutches, those fancy shoes. And the problem is, it doesn't help you work on your form, the true problem. And if you were to work on your form, you would probably be running better, and you wouldn't come into contact with the other problem that you have from fancy shoes, and that would be all the soreness. For me, even when I started training maybe 2 years ago, even 4 miles, doing that would hurt my knees, it would hurt my hips sometimes, even walking it would hurt it, because I wasn't used to it, and I wasn't, like, I hadn't perfected my form, and I was running with my fancy running shoes, and then after a while I would get blisters, and then I would lose toenails because my toes would be hitting the front of my shoes, and well, you're gonna lose them after doing so many miles. So to me, you're kind of paying to run with crutches, really, and that's why running barefoot, you might think, oh, you're only gonna have 4 millimeters protecting you from like pavement, which I was running on for quite some time, and you might think, well, that would be impossible for most people, there's no way they could do it. But the problem is with most people is their form, and running barefoot helps you correct that form, because you're not able to run poorly when you don't have all that protection. When you don't have those crutches, you can't run with poor form, so it takes a little bit of time to build up to it. But I was, let me see, what do I got here? 272 pounds, and I ran 9.3 miles with only 4 millimeters protecting my feet from the ground. Now, if there was just a gimmick, and it wasn't about correcting my form, then I would have come home every day with sore feet, blisters, and it would take 2-3 days to recoup that, but it didn't. I was coming home, my feet were fine, and if your heels were hurting, you knew you had to correct your form. And I really just, barefoot running helps you get around using those crutches, is all it is to me. And it helps you actually become a better runner, not a better runner who can run with crutches, but a better runner who can run in anything because your form's better. And there are some runners who do run in those fancy shoes, and they're awesome at it, and they don't have injuries very often, and that's because they corrected their form as well. But when you have that buffer, a lot of people don't care about correcting their form because it feels okay to run, But See, that's my thoughts. I mean, you can give me your own in the comments, but that's really what I think. Barefoot running is all about correcting your form and becoming a better runner. Maybe not the fastest runner ever, but because like with sprinting, yeah, you're gonna need that claw into the ground, and you're not gonna get that with a barefoot sandal. But it's all about correcting your form. It's all about becoming a better runner. It's about actually liking running because it's comfortable. I didn't like losing toenails. I didn't like having blisters with those $100 shoes I was running in. But I love running with my Zero shoes because I don't have those problems. Now, let's get into the changes. Now, how am I changing things? How the heck did I lose 15 pounds in a month? And the months before that weren't quite that big of a drop. Well, it's just I'm sticking to it. I mean, I started this in September and I'm sticking to it. That's really all there is to it. And I'm getting to a point to where you can look at a certain amount of food and you might still have that fatty mindset, but then once you try to eat it, you realize, oh, I can't get through it. Like my cheat meal used to be, to give you an idea of things, it used to be I would eat a half of a pizza with ranch dressing to dip it in and probably a drink on the side. Now I get 2, maybe 3 pieces in and I'm stuffed. I mean, I'm having to put that extra piece or 2 away. So I'm getting to the point to where my stomach's shrinking down enough to where it doesn't matter if I think I can eat a huge amount of food. I really can't anymore because I've shrunk it down. So the only changes I've really done is now I usually opt for either the ischiate or the pinole because I'm trying to gradually wean myself off to that. I've only got 2 more months left on this little thing I'm trying to do, and then I'll try to get back into eating more normally, but like I opted for the ischiate over the pinole today. I really like this stuff, and I probably continue to make it and drink it before runs because it's helpful and it's tasty and it keeps me fueled. But I don't eat both every day now. I'll either have the ischiate, and I've been doing that a lot more often because it's easy, it's quick, and it's just a drink, easier to consume. Or I'll do the pinole with like, make it into like the oatmeal or whatever. I haven't really been making the pinole brownies, so I'm eating less. Obviously, that's how I'm dropping weight. I'm still not running, because it's still pretty cold out here in Colorado. But that's really the only change I'm making. I'm not eating like beginning this month I didn't eat too well, but even still, even after a couple of days of slipping up here and there, still lost that 15 pounds. So I'm making progress, and I'm slowly weaning myself back into normal eating. But like I said, I like this. It's easy to make. It doesn't cost a lot. I mean, chia seeds, honey, lime juice, water. That's all it is. And it's a good little energy boost. It's great for breakfast. Really good for breakfast if you have a hard time eating breakfast. So really the only changes I've made is I pretty much only eat the tar, omar, and whey once a day, and I don't really care to do the cheat meals anymore, or like the cheat days, because I've gotten quite sick of pizza after a while. But I'll update you again next month. Sorry this one was late, and sorry it was like just a one take of me rambling on, but things are looking good. I'm slimming down slowly, and a lot of you might be like, you could have lost 100 pounds by now. Yeah, but I wouldn't have changed my mentality of, actually making conscious decisions to eat healthier, and that's a lot of things. It has to be gradual. It has to be a change that you can stick to. And when people do those things, like I've lost over 100 pounds in a year before, like way back in like 2006 or something like that, and I gained a lot of it back because I didn't change the mentality. I lost it quick, but you can't just get to a goal and then just switch back. Like how I'm doing, I'm slowly weaning myself into eating more everyday food, but yet I'm still realizing I gotta eat something like this at least once a day, and my body's telling me, hey dude, you can't eat that much anymore. And it helps to gradually work your way into that because it shifts your mentality. So I'll be back in probably 2 weeks for the update at the end of this month. We'll see how I've done, see if I've dropped a lot of weight or not. And well,